So in today class, we'll do graphical in the operation research. So I'll start with very basic problem in the graphical method. When we try to solve the given problem by graphical method, this is your problem. Your problem is to maximize an objective function where your expression is 20x1 plus 10x2. This is your objective function. There are two decision variables x1 and x2 which you want to maximize. Okay, so here subject to the conditions are given to you: x1 plus 2x2 that is less than or equal to 40. This is your first constraint. The second constraint is 3x1 plus x2, 3x1 plus x2 that should be greater than or equal to 30. Okay, and principal sir is there. Principal sir has given me this responsibility to teach you people the operation research. Okay, I'll describe about myself. 1 minute, let me finish this question. Third constraint is 3x1 plus 4x1 plus 3x2 is greater than or equal to 60. And your last non-negativity restriction is x1 and x2 is equal to 0. Fine. So whenever we get graphical method problem where your objective function here is minima and you saw three constraints are there followed by one non-negativity restriction which is given to you. Now I want to solve this problem, guys. So there are many ways are there to solve this problem. You can solve it by simplex method. You can solve it by using MS Excel solver function. You can solve it by using graphical method. Okay, I'll teach you how to solve the same problem in Excel. So to once you people get into corporate or you are already working, so you know that if I start solving this question by simplex and all, it will be big time wastage for you. And when you actually working, you don't need for everything you need to don't need to solve it in pen and pencil. So you can do the same thing in Excel very easily uh, by using a function. This all this LPP problem in Excel through a function called solver. So I'll teach you how you can solve the given problem by using solver. Okay, so coming back to this problem, because in exam, when you write Bangalore City exam, we will not get that right to solve that problem by using solver. So that's why I'm not doing it beginning. I definitely will show you how we can do that. Now coming back to the graphical method, guys, I believe you are well versed with the concept of graph. And the constraint what we are having right now talking about graph is that whenever we talk about graph, we can only talk in 2 dimension. Okay, I cannot bring third dimension. So although in class 12th in mathematics we studied 3 dimension, but visualizing the third dimension will be a difficult job. So here what we'll do, we'll solve the given problem by using graphical method. But whenever you use graphical method to solve the given problem, you need to solve only on 2 dimensions, 2 variables. Here, if you have more than 2 decision variables, if you have more than 2 decision variable, imagine if you would have had x1, x2, x3, then you can't solve it by using graphical method. Why, sir? Why we can't solve it by graphical method? Because if you have third variable, where will you put that variable? That question comes, because if I have 2 variable here, x1 and x2, so x1 I can put horizontally, and x2 I can put vertically. Okay, and then I can plot the graph. I believe you are well versed with the concept of graph. You know this is origin 0, 0. Okay, this here the positive value of x-axis lies. Here all your positive values of x-axis lies. Here your negative value of x-axis lies. Here your negative value of x-axis lies. Here a positive y-axis lies. Okay, here the negative value of y-axis lies. Any doubt, anyone? Everyone knows this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So guys, do free to ask doubt if you have. because it will take time for both of us to understand each other. So horizontal axis I'll represent with x1, vertical axis I'll represent with x2. You can do vice versa also. There will not be any change. Okay. Now coming back to the problem. We have this problem, and here the objective function is to minimize the variable, whatever variables we have, and we are given three constraints, and we need to make sure that a constraint what is given to us, that should be non-negative with restriction, it should follow. Now if I want to solve this problem and with these constraints, how I can solve? The question here is that you want to get the answer, right? Yes. Then how will I get the answer? By using graphs. Okay, you'll say, okay sir, I understood, I have to get the answer by using graph. Then sir, then how will I able to use the graph? So in order to use the graph, what would be your first step if you want to solve this problem? So the first step to solve this problem is to the first step to solve the problem is to ignore the inequality sign of the constraint. Okay, so what you need to do, guys, what I'm requesting you to understand here in the constraint, that ignore the inequality sign, ignore the inequality sign of the constraint, ignore the inequality sign of the constraint. So whatever constraint you have, ignore the inequality sign of it. Okay, assume assume the constraints assume the constraints assume the constraints are in the form of linear equation. Assume your constraints are in the form of linear equation. Assume your constraints are in the form of linear equation. Ignore the inequality sign of the constraint. Assume your constraints are in the form of linear equation. Can you understand this just now mentioned?
Yes, sir.
Everyone understanding? No? So you will say, sir, what I understood, but you said theoretically. What do you mean by practically? So here, what for the time being, can you just assume x1 plus 2x2 equal to 40? Okay, can you just assume that 3x1 plus x2 to be equal to 30, and the third at 4x1 plus 3x2 equal to 60. So ignore the inequality sign of the constraint. Assume that your constraints are in the form of linear equation. So ultimately, if you had three constraints for the given problem, so you will have three linear equations. Anyone, any doubt? Anyone, any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So, okay, thank you. So I removed the inequality sign of the constraint. I made the given equation to be in the form of equality sign with the linear equation. Now I have three linear equations. Okay, now what I can do, guys, I can plot the representation of the equation on a given number line. So this thing you studied in class 8 standard mathematics, that if I give you a given linear equation having two variables, they will have infinite solutions. So if I give you a linear equation with two variables, how many solutions it have? Infinite solutions. So I don't need all those infinite solutions. I just need minimum two solutions. With that minimum two solutions, I can plot the graph of the given equation. Is this clear? So Pavitra is
Yes, sir.
so Pavitra, inequality, Pavitra, these are in the form of inequality. Pavitra. This is inequality sign. These are inequalities. So what do you mean by this, Pavitra? If you see this x1 plus 2x2 is less than or equal to 40, what this mean? It this mean that this mean two things. What are those two things, sir? This mean x1 plus 2x2 that is either equal to 40, that is either equal to 40, or
lesser than 40.
x1 plus 2x2 is less than 40. We are sure. This is the maximum value what it can accept. I hope you remember when you are solving these kind of problem in operation research. So you got this kind of scenario, and when you had to formulate the given equation, so they used to give you constraint that the maximum, like here, if you read the problem, that the maximum grinding what I can do only 80 hours. And the maximum polishing I can do this 40 into 2 grinders I have. So this is 80 hours. If I have 3 polishers, I have 3 polishers. So maximum polishing I can do is 180 hours. So when you actually engage your machine for polishing or grinding work, the maximum you can use them in a week is 80 hours. So when you write the equation, that would be less than or equal to 80. Means either you can use them for 80 hours or either lesser than 80 hours. That is not a problem. But you cannot use them more than 80 hours because that is the constraint what you have. So I hope I'm making a sense for all of you to understand. So now coming back to this problem, you have to solve the given problem by using the graphical method. Guys, you may get a problem question. Normally 2 marks question don't come in Bangalore City, but normally imagine if you get a scenario. I hope there's only MBA students are there, no BCA or anyone students are not there.
We are BCA.
BCA are there, sir.
BCA also there.
Yes, sir.
So BCA students get 2 marks question. BCA students are getting the questions. If I show you BCA operation research paper, so you get theory question. So you here in theory question, you may get a question where they may ask you that what are the limitation of a graphical method. So in case if you get there in 2 marks question, please remember that whenever we use graphical method, we cannot work on graphical method if we have more than 2 decision variables. I hope you are understanding, because in the whenever we plot graph, whenever we are plotting graph, we cannot plot a graph if we have more than 2 variable. Why, sir? One variable I put on horizontal axis, another variable I put on vertical axis. So there is no room for third variable. So I hope you are understanding. So when we are trying to solve the problem by using graphical method, the first thing what we'll do, we'll ignore the inequality sign. We'll assume that the given linear inequation as a linear equation. Okay, sir, I understood well. Then what? Then what you need to do, guys, for every point, all these points what you get, all these points what you get, for all these line, find minimum 2 solutions. If you find more than 2 solutions, not a problem, but at least find 2 solutions. Why 2 solutions, sir? Because why 2 solutions? If I get 2 solutions, I can draw a line on those 2 solutions. No, if so, what I need to do, the moment I ignore the inequality sign, here I wrote the linear equation. Now what I'll do, I simply try to find minimum 2 coordinates. If you remember coordinate geometry, abscissa, ordinates, coordinate. So minimum I need 2 coordinates. Okay. So how will we find the minimum 2 coordinates? Okay. Let x1 0. If I put x1 0, then x2 will be equal to 20. Any doubt, anyone? If I put x1 0, then x2 would be equal to 20. Anyone, any doubt?
No, sir.
Coordinate. If I put x2 0, then x1 will be equal to 40. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Sir, why you took?
So how are you taking the values?
Sorry?
How are you taking the values, like 0 and
For
20?
the first equation, see, understand one thing. This equation x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 40. This have infinite solution. This is 10th board of Karnataka SSLC 10th board question. This is coming for this exam also. So they'll give you a linear equation. If I ask you how many solutions it has, so it have infinite solutions. Infinite. You can put any value of x1, you will get the simultaneous value of x2. You can put any value of x2, you will get the simultaneous value of x1. So what you are doing, I'm making things simple. I want to draw a linear line. So for that, what I'm assuming x1 equal to 0. You can assume anything. Assume x1 equal to 0. So if x1 is equal to 0, then x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 40. Here, if x1 is 0, then 0 plus 2x2 is equal to 40. It means 2x2 is equal to 40. It means x2 equal to 20. I hope you are understanding. So 0, 20.
Yes, sir.
So directly I wrote here. So please don't mind it. So I directly wrote here. So like this, you can simply find, put here x1 0. If x1 is 0, then x2 would be equal to 30. If x2 is 0, then x1 will be equal to 10. I hope you people understanding. So you can do,
Yes, sir.
if x1 is 0, then x2 is equal to 20. If x2 is 0, then x1 is equal to 50. If you want, you can do step by step. You can put any value of x1. Sir, why you are putting 0, sir? I'm not understanding. So the reason of putting any variable 0 is to get the other variable very easily. I can put here x1 1 also, but then I need 2-3 steps to find the value of x2. But is that really important? No, I just want to draw a graph. For drawing graph, I need just 2 coordinates. So I'm trying to make the process easy by assuming one variable 0. If we can assume any infinite variables, so let assume one variable is 0. So if you assume one variable 0, automatically you will find the simultaneous value. Clear, everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So what I did till now, what you have done. So till now, what I did, that whatever the equation, 100%, this is coming for your exam, guys, 100%. This I'll showing you BCA paper, I'll show you MCA, MBA, MCA paper, 1 minute, MBA, they normally ask simplex more. If I go to, but don't worry, I'll do for all. 1 minute, is that MBA paper. Quantitative technique and operation research. That is the name of MBA paper. Leave it, I'm not finding. I'll show you. I'll find and show you. So if you see the Bangalore City paper or MBA, the graphical method, only once the question came in graphical method. If my memory is correct, only once the question came. Normally Bangalore City do not go much detailed on this topic. They'll focus more on simplex method. So even then we'll do everything to make sure that you understand. I'll teach you through Excel also. You can do the same thing. I'll teach you that also. So you don't worry about that part. So talking about here, whenever we have a graphical method to solve the problem, so here what we'll do, whenever we see the constraint for us, the constraint for us will be in less than or greater than inequality. We'll remove the inequality sign. For the time being, we assume that as if there's no inequality sign. Okay, then we'll write the given linear equation in the form of linear equation, and then what we'll do, we'll try to find the coordinates for the constraint which we write in the form of linear equation. Is this clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Everyone, guys, I think around 46 people are
Yes,
listening.
sir.
So kindly respond, everyone. So I know I'm new to all of you, so you may not find me much interactive to, but you can understand this topic is like this, and we need to do more and more mathematical problems. So feel free to ask any question. Shreyas, any doubt? Tasmiya, Uday, Shalini, Saraswati, Sandhya, anyone? Shiv Kumar, Pradeep, Praveen, Preeta, Pritesh, Pavitra, Rakshit, any doubt, any question you want to ask? Mangal,
No, sir.
No, sir.
Bharti, all clear, no? Hari.
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. So guys, you saw you have 3 constraints. Now for these 3 constraints, I'm assuming as in the form of linear equation. So I found for each constraint in with the form of linear equation, I found their coordinates. Yes, sir, you found the coordinate. Then, sir, then what to do? Then what we'll do? We'll draw the graph. We'll draw the curve. So if you draw the curve here, guys, if you draw the curve properly, okay, in exam, use proper scale and all. I'm doing rough work like this, so no need to follow this. So you draw the curve very properly. Here, horizontal axis, I'm assuming as x1, and vertical axis, I'm assuming as x2. Okay, so if you remember the class, I think 12th, we studied graphs in maths. Before also, we have done lot of problems on graph in statistics in PU or in BCom, BBA. We studied the graph. So whenever you look into graph, if you have a linear equation, guys, whenever if you have linear equation always follow straight line curve. Everyone knows this, right? Linear equation always follow straight line curve. Okay, for solving the given problem, what I have here, here I have two variable in this problem. One variable is x1, the another variable is x2. So what I am gonna do, I have drawn xy curve. Here I am assuming the x-axis as x1 variable, x2 as an y variable. The y variable I assume as x2. Okay, sir. Then what I'll do, I'll just put dummy variable. Here you can see the maximum value of x1 is 40. So I'll just write 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, then for y variable, if you see y coordinate, that maximum is 30 something. So I can write here 10, 20, 30, 40 like this. I hope you know basics on graphs, so you know that coordinates and all. This is first quadrant, both are positive. Second quadrant, x negative, y positive. Third quadrant, all are negative. Fourth quadrant, x positive, y negative. So basics, it's important for you that you should know about basics on coordinate geometry. If you know, you can do this very easily. So now once you understood this part is clear. Now if you see the first line, that its coordinates are 0, 20. 0, 20 means what? Anyone? 0, 20 means x1 is 0, x2 is 20. Is this clear, everyone? X1 is 0, x2 is 20. Then next is 40, 0. 40, 0 means x1 is 40, x2 is 0. Is this clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Commerce student, anyone finding anything difficulty? Science student, BCA student, I'm worried about them. I know they can easily understand this. Commerce student, any difficulty with this? 0, 20 means x1 is 0, x2 is 20. 40, 0 means x1 is 40, x2 is 0. So once you're done with this, now what you do, plot a straight line curve on this. Plot a straight line curve on this. Okay, so in exam, when you will do very neat work. Okay. One minute. Okay, so in the exam, when you do neat work, and this is because of what? This is of line x1 plus 2x2. This is x1 plus 2x2. Okay, equal to 40. Correct, guys? Everyone understood this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
X1 plus 2x2 equal to 40. Up now, guys, this is the line. Okay, sir, you drawn the line. Very good, sir. Then coming back to the original question, sir. What was your original graph? What was the original equation? Sir, this was your original equation. Okay, sir, this is the original equation that x1 plus 2x2 that should be less than or equal to 40, where x1 and x2 should be positive variable. So what they're telling you that x1 and x2, they are positive variable. Okay, first of all. Next thing is that the real equation is this. This is the real equation. Means they're talking about all the area which is less than or equal to 40. This is equal to 40. This black color is equal to 40. That line means x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 40. That line means that. If I say x1 plus 2x2 greater than or equal to 40, means what would be the area? This would be the area. I hope you understand it. If I'm asking you that x1 plus x2, if I'm saying x1 plus x2 should be less than or equal to 40, then what is your area, sir? Your area would be this. This would be your area. Can you understand this? Because
Yes, sir.
your x1,
Sir.
x2, that should be greater than or equal to 0. Why not this area, sir? Why not this area, sir? What problem with this area? The problem with this area that if you take those area, then x1 and x2 can be 0 or can be negative variable. But in the real life manufacturing setup, you cannot manufacture negative. Your output cannot be negative. So your output should always be positive or 0. So x1 and x2 should be either 0 or more than 0. So we can only talk in the term of first quadrant. Is this part clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
sir.
so now this is the area corresponding. Now this is the area corresponding to the first curve. Okay. So keep that area in your mind, because we at the end of the day, I'll find the feasible area, the area which is common between all the three lines. So there we need huge concentration, guys. And it's not there. This is difficult question, very easy question. Only thing, if we do silly mistake, no, in drawing graph and plotting line and all, unnecessary, we'll not able to get the answer, which we can do like this. So like in 10th, 9th standard, we have done all this very simply. Those who have done mathematics in 12th standard, PU second, they have definitely done this under a chapter called linear programming. So in mathematics, there's a chapter called linear programming. No problem. If you have not done, again, I'm going to do that for you. If you forgot, there's nothing to worry on that part. So City here to make sure that you learn at the end of the day. So your second equation is 3. Your second equation is 3x1. Your second equation is 3x1 plus x2 is equal to 30. Means 0, 30, 10, 0. So second, I hope you 0, 30, 0, 30, 0, 30, 0, 30, 0, 30. This is 0, 30 and 10, 0. Okay. You all are understanding how to plot this. So 0, 30 and 10, 0. 0, 30. 0, 1 minute. So use scale. This is your second, guys. 0, 30, 10, 0. And please guys, when you do an exam now, please make sure that you note down that line and all. Otherwise, you'll confuse. Okay, you'll confuse. This is 3x1 plus x2. This is equal to 30. This line corresponds to that. But in reality, what is your constraint? Constraint is greater than or equal to. Your constraint is greater than or equal to. The constraint is greater than or equal to. Now, guys, I need your attention. I need everyone attention on my screen. Greater than or equal to 30 means what area, sir? Greater than or equal to 30 means what area, sir? Greater than or equal to 30 means, sir, this area. I hope you are understanding, paying attention. Greater than or equal to 30 means all this area beyond this line. Are you getting me, everyone?
Yes.
Sir.
Guys, everyone have to understand, it's not at all anything difficult. You can easily understand. Only thing, little bit of attention you need. Okay, so now guys, Now guys, what you need to do guys, now you have to find the area which is common between the first two lines. What is the area, sir, which is common between the first two lines? Sir, this is the area, sir. I hope you are getting it. Think about the first line and second line. So what is the area? This area is called feasible region, guys. This is called feasible region. So the area, what we need to do, we need to think about the area which is common between these two lines. Because the first line, the first line was like this. The first line was this. This is the area for the first line. Okay. And for the second line, what is your area? For the second line, this is your area. Second line, this is your area. For the second line, this is your area. So what is the area common between the first two lines? Just think like that way. What is the area which is common between the first two lines? Clear? Can I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So my sincere suggestion to you all that 100% either you are BCA or MBA or MCA, 100% you will get a question on graphical method. There's no doubt on that part. Once in exam you will get the graphical method problem, guys. Make sure that you do a proper neat work. Do this, solve this question at the back. Get the answer. Okay. Once you get the answer, get yourself very confirmed. If you can solve the same problem by using simplex method, I'll teach you how to do it by simplex method. Be very sure about what you have done and then do the fair work. Okay, and because these are not at all difficult thing, you can easily get the marks for these kind of problems. Normally, if you see the question paper, you will get always the problem. You can see this is graphical method problem. Always you get graphical also, you get simplex also. So you can solve both the question by both the methods. So the simplex method problem, you can solve it by graphical method. Graphical method problem, you can do it by simplex method. Do by both the ways. Get very sure about what you are doing and then you continue your discussion. So make sure you do neat work with pencil and all in exam. Teacher will definitely will give you very good marks. Okay, now coming to the third equation. The third equation is 0, 620, 0, 20, 0, 20, the same like 0, 20. This was 0, 20. Okay, and 15, 0, 15, 0. So 15, 0 would be this. I hope you understand me. This is 15, 0. Achha, before I do the plotting of the third line, okay, guys, I need to know from you how will you find this coordinate x, y? Anyone? How will you find this coordinate? Before I'll draw the third line, I want that everyone should understand. How will we find this point? Anyone? X, y, how will I able to find?
And all the three lines are touching the same point.
Yeah, so because if you understand these two lines are touching the same point, if you understand these two lines are touching the same point, so one line is x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 40. That is your first line. Your second line is 3x1 plus x2 is equal to 30. This is your second equation. Now what you can do, guys, either see, you know linear equation, how to solve linear equation. You just need to solve it. So either I can cancel x or either I can cancel y. If I want to cancel x, then I'll multiply the equation 1 by 3. I'll get 3x1 plus 6x2 is equal to 120. This is my first equation. Okay, then second equation I can write as 3x1 plus x2 is equal to 30. Then I can cancel. So 5x2 is equal to 90. So x2 is equal to 18. So x2 value is 18. So once you get the x2 value, put in any equation, find the x1 value. So 3x1 plus x2 is equal to 30. So you get the x2 value, no? So 3x1 plus x2 is 18, so is equal to 30. So 3x1 is equal to 12. So x1 is equal to 4. So this coordinate is 4, 18. This coordinate is 4, 18. This is 4, 18. I'm simply have done. I don't know I need or I don't need. So I did it for you people to make sure that you people don't get confused. Anyone, any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Anyone have any doubt? Please use a chat option or please tell me. I'll do it. I hope everyone is understanding. Okay, so feel free to ask as many questions as you can. Now the third line, guys, when I'm trying to plot the third line, so my third line coordinates are 0, 20, 15, 0. 0, 20, 15, 0. Let me just choose some different color. So 0, 20 and 15, 0. So I'll just take this. So 0, 20 and then 15, 0. So 0, 20 and 15, 0. Okay, guys. So you just draw the third line. This is your third line. Okay, now once you've drawn the third line, if you see this, if you see the third line, guys, very carefully, this point. How will you find the coordinate of this point, guys? This point coordinate, how will you find? It is a intersection between, the 4x1 plus 3x2 is equal to 60. This is 4x1 plus 3x2. This third line is which inequality it have? Greater than equal to 60. Okay, guys. So now if you guys understand this point is the point of intersection between second line and third line. If you want that point, how will you find? 3x1 plus x2 is equal to 30 and 4x1 plus 3x2 is equal to 60. This is the first equation. This is the second equation. Now you know now how to solve it. So if I want to cancel x2, I'll multiply this by 3 and then I'll get 9x1 plus 3x2 equal to 90. Your first equation. Your second equation is 4x1 plus 3x2 is equal to 60. Solve, subtract the first from second, you will get 5x1 is equal to 30. So x1 is equal to 6. If you get x1 equal to 6, then you know equation 3x1 plus x2 is equal to 30. So if x1 is equal to 6, then you can find the value of x2. x2 will be equal to 12. So this coordinate is 6, 12. This coordinate is 6, 12. Clear? Anyone, any doubt?
So, but in the real graph, all three dots will be in the, like all three lines will touch the dot, right? That's 4, 12, 18.
No, all three lines are not intersecting.
Okay.
You can
And why
do
you
that.
take only 3, sir, to multiply there?
Sorry, why I took this one?
Yes, sir, 3.
It's by 3. See, sir, I multiplied it by 3 because I wanted to cancel x2. Here, if you see, the coefficient of x2 is 3. And in order to, so that I can cancel the x2, I'll multiply this by 3 so that this becomes 3x2. So 3x2 and 3x2, I can cancel them when I subtract. If you have to cancel x1, then you have to multiply this by 4, this by 3, so that both will become 12, 12 and you can cancel them. The purpose of doing that, you know, right now, whenever you get two linear equation, you can either solve them by elimination method or you can solve them by substitution method. So this is that elimination method which we use in our general day-to-day life. So we look into the coefficient of both the equation and we'll try to cancel one of the what you say, the variable, by getting both of them same coefficients.
Okay, sir.
Guys, those who understood, no need to respond. Anyone who has not understood, please respond. Ask me if you have any doubt. I'll be very happy if you ask your questions. Ambika, Ajay, Ashwarya, any doubt, Ashwini?
Sir, how it comes as 0, 20, 40, 0, 0, 30.
How that you got? Okay, I'll do that. See this, madam. See, if you have no this, if you have this equation called x1 plus, if you have this equation, no, x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 40. This you understood? Why I wrote like this? This you understood?
Yes, sir.
So what I assume that this inequality as an equality, and then I wrote this. Okay, now please remember one thing, that this equation now have infinite values. You put any value of x1, let x1 is equal to 1000. You put any value of x1, so then you can find the value of x2. What is the value of x2? 1000 plus 2x2 is equal to 40. So 2x2 is equal to 40 minus 1000. So you will get a 2x2 is equal to minus 960. So x2 is equal to minus 480. So your points are 1000. Your coordinate would be 1000 comma minus 480. So you can put any value of x1, you'll get the value of x2. You can put any value of x2, you'll get the value of x1. What I did know, I put one, first time I put x1 0. So what is the value of x2? Next time I put x2 0, what is the value of x1? So why you did like that? Easier way. Because I know I can put any value, I'll get the simultaneous value of x. If I put any value of x1, I'll get the simultaneous value of x2. I can put any value of x2, I'll get the simultaneous value of x1. So when I can take anything in this world, any number, 1 crore, 1000 crore, I can take anything. So let's take 0, no? Why 0? To make the thing equation easy. I hope you're understanding now. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
you can put anything, guys. Again, I'm telling you guys, this class 9 standard NCERT book, linear equation. If you are finding little bit also doubt, I'll send you my videos and everything. Otherwise, class 10th standard linear equation. If you study little bit also, you study this in this 8th standard, 9th standard linear equation. If you'll get, you study little bit, your work will be done. It's very easy thing. Linear equation in two variable. Little bit you study, you'll understand everything. Whatever I'm trying to make you understand, you'll understand everything. So you put any value of x1, you'll get the simultaneous value of x2. You put any value of x2, you'll get simultaneous value of x1. Why you put 0? To make the thing simple. So here I randomly put x1 0. What is the value of x2? I put x2 0. What is the value of x1? The same thing I did for all the three equations. Then once you're done, then what you did, sir? Then I plotted the line for them. Always remember, linear equation always follow straight line curve. If you did all this in first semester when you studied regression, in statistics when you studied regression, time series analysis, if you remember, least square method, summation of y is equal to a na plus b summation of x. You remember y equal to a plus bx. Time series analysis, summation of y na equal to summation of x. Summation of xy is equal to a summation of x plus summation of x square. Do you remember all this? So all these are the example of linear equation only, guys. Everything we are studying right from our childhood. Everything is same thing we are studying. Same thing is straight line curve, coordinate geometry. These all are coordinate geometry. Nothing new we are studying. Anyone, any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So the third line, now guys, now coming to the third line. Third line still we have not drawn. Third line, the inequality sign for the third line is greater than or equal to. Greater than or equal to what area? Greater than or equal to means what area, guys? Greater than equal to means what area? This is greater than equal to. Are you getting it? This area is greater than or equal to. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Now, guys, please do not talk now. Now coming back, guys. Now coming back to the problem. Now coming back to the Now coming back to the problem. If you remember, sir, guys, the first line, what was the area for the first line, guys? This was the area for the first line. Do you remember? This was the area of the first line, less than or equal to. Okay. Now, second line, what was the area for the second line? The second line was greater than equal to. This is the area for the second line. This is the area for the second line, greater than or equal to. This is your area for the second line, greater than or equal to. Do you remember this, guys? This is the area for the second line, greater than or equal to. Okay, guys, are you understanding? Area for
Yes, sir.
line. Now, third line, what is the area corresponding to the third line, guys? What is the area corresponding to third line? Third line is also greater than or equal to. Third line greater than or equal to. Yellow color is the third line. Greater than or equal. Can you understand this? This is the area corresponding to the third line. What you need to do, you need to find that area which is common between all the three lines. What is the area which is common between all the three lines, guys? What is the area which is common between all the three lines? You have to find that area which should be common between all the three lines. Can you understand? This is your feasible area. Can you understand this? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You have to
sir.
find
Yes,
the
sir.
area which is
sir.
common between the three lines. So what are the coordinates for this? This is A. If this is A, coordinate B. This is C. This is D. That's it. So where A is equal to 40 comma 0, that is, you will get a polygon. B is equal to 15 comma 0. C is equal to 6 comma 12. And D is equal to 4 comma 18. Can you understand this?
Yes, sir.
These are the coordinates, guys. If you do this much, your work is done. Little, it's not at all difficult. I don't know how much you people understood or not understood, but if you realize, guys, if you sit with peace of mind and try to draw this, it's very simple thing how we used to do in schooling. If you take a graph paper, you have to find a common area. So this is the area which is common between them. So that area which is common between them is this polygon. The area which is common between them is this polygon. The area which is common between them correspond to this polygon. Correspond to this polygon. This polygon. So this polygon, we call this points as a corner points. We'll call this points as the corner point. Corner point are the vertices. Corner point are the vertices of the feasible region. And then what you do, write your objective function. Your objective function was minima, not maxima. Minima of z is equal to, that was equal to 20x1 plus 10x2. This was your objective function, 20x1 plus 10x2. This was your objective function. What you do now? Once you get this, now what you do now? Once you've done this, what you do, find this value, z value 20 into 40 plus 0 into 10. How much you'll get? Put this value here, put this value into this equation. So this would be 800. Then this would be 20 into 15 plus 10 into 0. So you'll get 300. Then find the z value, 20 into 6 plus 10 into 12. You'll get 240. Then here find the z value. Z is equal to 20 into 4 plus 10 into 18. So this is 180 plus 80 means 260. What is the minimum value of z, guys? What is the minimum value of z? This is the minimum z value, right?
240, sir.
So means this is your feasible region. This is your answer for the problem. So the answer for the problem is your x1 is equal to 6, your x2 is equal to 12, and the z value what you will get, minima z value is 240. This is your final answer. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Guys, those who understood, so I'm very happy for them. Those who have not understood, I'm worried about those people. Those who have not understood, feel free to ask your questions. So I'm more worried of those people who have doubt. So those who have doubt, please ask me. Guys, those who have doubt, please ask me. Anyone, any question?
No, sir.
So the graph diagram should be done in the graph sheet only, right?
No, no,
In the
no.
exam.
Exam, they'll not give you. They give you graph sheet and all well and good, but I don't think so. They'll give you graph sheet. You have to do in using
The booklet.
scales and pencil. So that is the biggest challenge which you need to make sure. So little bit of here and there also, if you do in drawing line, means all our effort will go waste. So that's why, if you remember, I told you that once you solve the problem, no, confirm your answer by using simplex method. Confirm your answer. Make sure I can do the same problem in using MS Excel. So are you people all sitting with laptop which have Excel?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Otherwise, I would show you the same thing in Excel. I hope you people want to learn MS Excel, because MS Excel is the most important thing to survive in the corporate world. So I do Excel training in many colleges in Bangalore. I go for only Excel training. So I'll teach you Excel, how to do the same thing in MS Excel. Only thing, if you give me someday, you come up with laptop, I'll do the same thing in MS Excel. We can do it very easily. By using solver function is there in Excel, we can do it very easily. So let me know next class if you bring laptop, I'll do it for you. Okay, now coming to this question, guys, please ask me. Everyone understood?
Yes, sir.
So welcome back, everyone. And now we'll solve this question which came in July 2018 in your Bangalore City MBA exam for a subject called Quantitative Techniques and Operation Research. So this is a question of graphical method where this is the objective function. Maxima of z is equal to 5x1 plus 4x2. Subject to you are given two constraints, and non-negative restriction is always given, that your x1 and x2 should be greater than or equal to 0. If you remember in the previous session, I told you that whenever you see your constraint and if your constraints are less than or equal to sign, so what is the first thing we'll do? We assume as if the constraints are equation. Okay, I hope you remember. So what we do, the first thing we'll assume that as if your constraint belong to linear equation, and then your equation will be 4x1 plus x2 is equal to 40, and your second equation will be 2x1 plus 3x2, 2x1 plus 3x2 is equal to 90. Assume as if your constraints are having equality sign, and then your equation of your constraint will become 4x1 plus x2 is equal to 40, and then your second equation will become 2x1 plus 3x2 is equal to 90. Okay, I hope this part is clear with all of you. Okay, now if you assume as if the linear inequation which belong to your constraint as in linear equation, so now what you will do, you have to find the coordinates. So a linear equation in two variable can have infinite solution. So I'm not interested with those infinite solutions. I just want two solutions. So how will I find the two solutions? Let x1 0. If x1 is 0, then x2 will be equal to 40. Similarly, if x2 is 0, then x1 will be equal to 10. Anyone doubt? So here x1 is 0, then I can find x2 as 40. Similarly, if x2 is 0, I can find x1 as 10. Similarly, if x1 is 0, then x2 I can find as 30. Similarly, if x2 is 0, then I can find x1 as 45. Any doubt, anyone?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Clear, everyone? So this one or two people were having doubt creating these values. So my sincere suggestion to you people, put one variable 0. If x1 is 0, then 4x1 will be 0, x2 will be equal to 40. Simply if you put x2 0, then 4x1 plus 0 is equal to 40. So it means 4x1 is equal to 40. So x1 is equal to 10. So like this, once you get the coordinate, guys, now if you observe, your both x1, x2 are positive ones. So everything gonna lie in first quadrant one. Okay, and see the values also. The maximum value of x1 you need is 45. The maximum value of x2 you need is 40. So keep that also in your mind. And then what you do, simply draw a line. Simply draw a line like this. If you draw a line like this, you can put here 5, suppose 10, you can put 15, then 20, then 25, then 30, then 35, then 40, and then 45, then you can put 45 like this. Now here you can put here 5, then 10, then 15, then 20, then 25, then 30, then 35, then 40, then 45 like this. So you see, this is 0 comma 40. 0 comma 40 means 0 comma 40 means x1 0, x2 40. I hope you understood. And then next one is 10 comma 0. Next one is 10 comma 0. The first one was 0 comma 40, and then it is 10 comma 0. Now what I'll do, I'll draw a line on this. Clear, everyone? Anyone, any doubt?
No, sir.
So once you drawn the line, guys, you drawn the line, it doesn't mean your work is done. You have to see the inequality sign of your constraint. Initially, you ignore that inequality sign, right? Now you need to look into that inequality sign. So if I see the inequality sign of constraint, that is less than equal to. So less than equal to means what would be that area? Everyone knows this would be area less than or equal to. Here x1 and x2 both should be greater than or equal to 0. The area of this would be your area. Because your x1 and x2 both should be greater than or equal to 0. Your x1 and x2 both should be greater than or equal to 0, and then the constraint what is having is less than or equal. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
I'm happy that you will understanding. Now what I'll do, I'll draw the next line, next graph, that is 0 comma 30, 0 comma 30. This is 0 comma 30, 45 comma 0, 0 comma 30, 0 comma 30, and then 45 comma 0. So now it is 1 minute. Okay, so I've drawn the second line also. 0, 30, 45, 0. Now, again, the second line is also having a less than or equal to sign only for the constraint. So, means what would be the area common to this? So, the area for the second line would be what? So, the area corresponding, because less than or equal to, so the area corresponding to the line, the area what is corresponding to the second line will be this. Yeah. This is the area which is corresponding to the second line. But what is our feasible region, guys? If you remember what I taught you in feasible region. So if you remember what I taught in feasible region, you see this is the area which is corresponding to the first line. I hope you remember. This is the area which is corresponding to the first line. This is the area which is corresponding to the first line. This is the area which is corresponding to the first line. Now, what we need to find, guys, feasible region. So, what is feasible region, sir? Feasible region is the region which is common between the two lines. So, guys, what is the region which is common between the two lines? That will be your feasible region. So, find the region which is common between the two lines. So, the region which is common between the two lines, find that region. So this is the region, guys, which is common between the two lines. Both are having less than or equal to sign. Everyone understanding? Anyone have any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So once we are done with this, now I'll look into the coordinate. This is 1, this is 0, 0, this is 0, 0, this is 10, 0. Okay, this is what? This is 0, 30, and this point. This is A, B, this is C, this is D. D is what? D is the point where two lines intersect. What is D? D is the point where these two lines intersect. So what are those two lines? 4x1 plus 2 is equal to 40. First line. Second line is 2x1 plus 3x2 is equal to 90. This is your second line. So what is point D? Point D is the point where the two lines are intersecting. So how will I find the coordinate of that point? By simply solving this linear equation. Okay, 1 minute. Someone, Pavitra saying, what's the equation, Pavitra? 4x1 plus divide by 4 is 40. Pavitra, it is plus sign. 4x1 plus x2. Then 2x1 plus 90. 90 divided by 3. Why you are doing 90 divided by 3, Pavitra? It is not same variable, Pavitra. They are two different variables.
Sir, then now it's coming 0.30 and 45.0, sir.
How it is coming? Okay, 1 minute. I'll show
Yes,
you.
sir.
Thank you for asking. So 2x1 plus 3x2 is equal to 90. Okay, Pavitra. This
Yes,
is
sir.
given. Now,
Yes,
Pavitra, what I'm telling you, Amit sir is telling you that Pavitra, you put any value of x1, you'll find the value of x2. You put any value of x2, you'll find the value of x1. Sir, I'm not understanding what x1, x2 you're telling. So you tell me, Pavitra, any value. Tell any value, Pavitra.
Anyone, sir?
Any value. Say anything. Any number.
40, sir.
40. 40 for which? X1 or X2?
X1.
Okay. So Pavitra is telling let X1 is equal to 40. So if X1 is equal to 40, then what is the value of X2? This I'm trying to find. So I'll write 2 into X1 is 40 plus 3 into X2 is equal to 90. So 2 into 40 is 80. 80 plus 3x2 is equal to 90. So 3x2 is equal to 90 minus 80 means 10. So means then your x2 is equal to 10 by 3. If your x1 is equal to 40, if x1 is equal to 40, then your x2, Pavitra, is 10 by 3. You can put any value, Pavitra, of anything, you'll get the simultaneous value for the.
Okay, sir.
So what sir is doing, Pavitra? Sir is putting one value 0. Why one value 0? What advantage it gives us? It gives you that advantage that you can solve it very fast. Like the way if you are told, sir, if x1 is 1 crore, what is the value of x2? For this equation, I need to write, then only I can tell you. But if I put 0, I can get the answer very easily. The purpose of taking this 0 is just to make the scenario easy. That's it. You can put any value of x1, get the any value of x2. Clear, Pavitra?
Okay, sir.
So now, guys, I hope you people are with me. You know that a coordinate for point A is 0, 0. Coordinate for point B is 10, 0. Coordinate for point C is 0, 30. So I can find the coordinate of point D. So how will I can find the coordinate of point D? How can I do that? To find the coordinate of point D, solve this equation. Guys, solve this equation. Tell me this answer. So guys, you got the coordinate A, coordinate B, coordinate C. Now to find the coordinate D is the point of intersection of these two lines. So how will I find the coordinate D? By simply solving these two equations. You know, right, how to solve the equation? You can cancel now. You can cancel x1, x2, anything. You can cancel. Ajay, tell me, Ajay, which one you want me to cancel here? X1 or x2? Tell me which variable you want to cancel here, Ajay. X1 or x2? What do you want to cancel? Anyone?
X2, sir.
X2 you want to cancel. Now suppose if you want to cancel x2, then what you need to do, guys? You have to multiply this equation by 3. Are you getting me, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So one student was there, I don't know the name. Boy has asked me, sir, why you multiplied? So that person, have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
You're getting it?
Yes, I got another time.
Okay, thank you. Shreyas, no? Okay, now I can see your name. Okay. So now, like if I have to cancel x1, so what should I do? Shreyas, if I have to cancel x1, what should I do? Which equation, what should I do? If I have to cancel x1.
You need to multiply starting one with the 2 and second line with the 4.
Shreyas, what you are saying is 100% correct. Otherwise, Shreyas, in much more easier way, Shreyas, you can multiply this directly with 2.
2, yeah.
So your work will be done. So anything you can do, Shreyas. So you can, or if you want to cancel x2, you can multiply 3. Anything you do, both mean same thing. So if I multiply the equation 1 by 3, I'll get 12x1 plus 3x2 is equal to 120. That is the first equation. Second equation is 2x1 plus 3x2 is equal to 90. So now solve this. This get cancelled. So 10x1 is equal to 30. So x1 is equal to 3. You get the x1 equal to 3. Put that value in any equation. 4x1 plus x2 is equal to 40. So x1 is equal to 3. Put that in any equation. Find the value of x2. So 12 plus x2 is equal to 40. So x2 is equal to 28. Check this. Whatever I get, I'll check this. 2x1 plus 3x2 should be equal to 90. If I put x1 3 and x2 equal to 28. So this is 6. This is 8 3s are 24. 2 carry 84. You see, I'll get 90. So means the point D means 3 comma 28. This is 3 comma 28. Anyone, any doubt?
No, sir.
All understanding, all are happy with Arvind sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, thank you everyone. So I hope we'll meet everyone very soon. So I have joined City College as a full time. So I hope I'll see you all people very soon. So the corner points, you have corner point A is 0 comma 0, point B is 10 comma 0, point C is 0 comma 30, point D is 3 comma 28. Okay, these are your corner point. Okay, so once you get this corner point, once you get this corner points, once you get this corner point, you get this corner point. What are corner point? They are the vertices of the polygon. What you get by getting the feasible region. Feasible region is the region which is common between all the lines. Now your objective function. What was your objective function? Maxima of 5x1 plus 4x2. Maxima of 5x1 plus 4x2. This is the objective function. So this would be 0 only. This is 5 into 10 plus 4 into 0. So this will be 50. This will be 5 into 0 plus 4 into 30 equal to 120. This will be 5 into 3 plus 4 into 28. This is 15 plus 28 fours 8 fours 32, 3 carry 112. So you'll get 127. I think this is your maxima value. This is your maximum value. So the maximum value of Z is 127, where your x1 should be equal to 3, x2 should be equal to 28. Anyone, any doubt?
No, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Please ask me.
Sir, is it 5 into 10 is 50? It's okay. Plus 4 into 0. What we have to do for that value, sir?
Actually, now what we are trying to do, we get na corner point. What are corner points, sir? The vertices of the feasible region. Okay, sir. So then what you are trying to do, sir? We put these coordinates in the objective function. The objective function was 5x1 plus 4x2, and we'll see where we get the maximum value. So in this equation, 5x1 plus 4x2, put x1 0, x2 0. See what value of z you get. Then in the same equation, put x1 10, x2 0. See what value of z you get. Again, in the same equation, put x1 0, x2 30. See what value of z you get. In the same equation, put x1 3, x2 28. See what value of z you get. Are you getting? So here my objective function was to maximize the z. So where I'm getting maximum z at this point. So this point was, answer was x1 should be equal to 3, x2 should be equal to 28, and the maximum value of z what you get, it should be 127.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Others? Others, please ask me a question. Guys, please ask me questions.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Please ask me question.
Yeah, so I just like to know. I did understand your, the sum, but I would like to understand how you marked the coordinates. That is 0, 40, 10, 0, 0, 30, 45, 0.
Mhm.
Apart from that, I would also like to know how you mark the corner points. So there's a confusion here.
Okay. Okay. No, thank you for asking. So, like, for this, see this is two-dimensional axis. So the maths what we study, the constraint of mathematics what we are studying is that we can study only two-dimensional maths. Three-dimensional maths still not there, because then I need one more dimension which comes from my laptop over me. You're seen in Tom Cruise movies and all. So still we are not in that phase that we can use artificial intelligence to construct 7 plus 4 dimension, which Albert Einstein has said. But all that is right now not feasible, at least for me while teaching to people. So I have only two dimension. One is horizontal axis, another one is vertical axis. Okay. Now, please understand, normally in mathematics, when we studied in mathematics in schools, what we have studied that the axis, what we have studied in a school, 1 minute, in the school when we studied mathematics in school, we studied only two dimension, where the horizontal axis what we had, the horizontal axis what we had, we call that horizontal axis, we call this horizontal axis as x-axis. We'll call this horizontal axis as x-axis, and this vertical axis as y-axis. Okay. So the person who has asked me the question, do let me know whenever you find any difficulty. So the horizontal axis is x-axis and the vertical axis is y-axis. Now this is called origin. This we called as origin. This we called as origin. 0, 0. So what is 0, 0? So whenever we write x, y. Whenever we write what we write x, y, where x is called as abscissa, x is called as abscissa, and y is called as ordinates. Okay, x is called as abscissa, y is called as ordinate, and this is called as coordinate. This is coordinate geometry. Welcome to the world of coordinate geometry. So it was put forward by the scientist. I'm forgetting his name, D. Moore, or there's a scientist who came up with this concept, putting algebra in geometry. So where the first variable what you write is the x coordinate, the next variable what you write is the y coordinate, where x coordinate another name is abscissa, the y coordinate another name is ordinates. Clear, everyone? Guys, all are
Yes,
listening to me? Yeah. So
Yes,
what's your
sir.
good name?
Shane.
Shane. Yeah. So yeah. So now Shane, this part you understood. Now Shane, next thing what you need to understand here is that this is 0, 0. So now what we'll do, we'll write here. Guys, please don't do annotation and all. So when we write this x, 0, this here I'll write positive value of x. Here you will write positive values of x. Right hand side of x, you will write the positive value of x. Left hand side of x, you will write the negative value of x. Left hand side of x, you will write the negative value of x. Okay, similarly, above this line, this y-axis is a vertical axis. I hope you understand the line meaning of the word vertical, horizontal. So above this is your vertical axis, positive value vertical axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. And here below it is the negative value of the vertical axis. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now imagine if I ask you, suppose if I give you points, Carl, point is minus 17, 5. Suppose if I give you point, Carl, minus 17, 5. So where this point will come? Where this point will come? So you need to understand minus 17, 5 means For that, whenever if I give you point called minus 17 comma 5, it means minus 17 is the x coordinate. The first you write always x coordinate. It means minus 17 is the x coordinate and 5 is the y coordinate. So you need positive value of x, you need positive value of y and negative value of x. So here your x should be negative. You'll go here, you'll see where is minus 17. So you'll take the negative value of x and you'll take the positive value of y. So what is that point? Where this point will lie? This point will lie between the point of intersection of these 2 points. Are you getting it? This is minus 17 comma 5.
Yeah.
If I ask you what is 2 comma 4, if I ask you what is 2 comma 4, 2 comma 4 means x is 2 and y is 4. So x is 2 and y is 4. This point is 2 comma 4. If I say what is 5 comma 3, 5 comma 3 means x is 5 and y is 3. This is 5 comma 3. Okay, so what we do know when we discuss like this area which you see, this area what you see, this is called as in mathematics language, this is called as first quadrant. In mathematics language, this is called as first quadrant. This is the first quadrant. This is called as second quadrant. In the language of mathematics, this is called as second quadrant. In the language of mathematics, this is called as third quadrant. In the language of mathematics, this is called as fourth quadrant. So please understand. So whichever textbook you'll refer, so you remember positive value of x and y lies in the first quadrant. Negative value of x, positive value of y lies in the second quadrant. Both negative lies in the third quadrant. And positive x, negative y lies in fourth quadrant. If you have any doubt, I'll give you the book on linear equation of NCERT book. Okay, the NCERT books are the best book in India. So I'll give you the book of linear equation of class 9 standard. You can read little bit, you'll understand. Okay, otherwise in YouTube, I have my channel where class 9, class 8 videos are there. There linear equation chapter videos you can study, you will understand everything. So clear everyone? Anyone, any doubt?
No, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Please ask me.
This is Calvin.
Yeah, Calvin.
I want to ask, can you solve those two linear equations using substitution method?
Okay. You want me to solve a two linear equation by using substitution method?
Yeah,
Correct.
for the previous question.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So this question, this is the question. This was the question. So
he's not from India, so he needs to know from the first.
Okay. So this is 4x1 plus x2. This is 4x1 plus x2 is equal to 4x1 plus x2 is equal to 40. This is one equation. The second equation is 2x1 plus 3x2 equal to 90. 2x1 plus 2x1 plus 3x2 equal to 90. So I'll teach by both the method, the same question. I'll do by both the method. So the easier way to solve this linear equation, when you have two variable, I hope you understand the term variable. Variable here are x1, x2. When you have two variable, in order to solve this equation, you need minimum two equation. If you have three variable, then you need three equation. You remember in BCA first semester, you studied in matrices determinants, the rule, Cramer's rule, Martin's rule. So talking about here, I have two variables, so I need two equation. If I get two equation, I can solve it very easily. So I got the two equation. Now question comes, how will I solve? So how will you want to solve? So if you want to solve graphically, then plot the graph of these two equations, find the point where these two lines meet, you will get the answer. That is the one way. You can solve it by graphically. So, but solving it by graphically, Shane, I'll do that. Let me first solve this question. So suppose this is the question, 4x1 plus x2 equal to 40, and then is 2x1 plus 3x2 is equal to 90. Okay, now I want to solve these two equations. I want to find the value. How will you find the value? So how will you find the value? So 10th standard question of Karnataka SSLC board question. How will you find the value? You simply plot the graph of these two lines. You simply plot the graph of these two lines. Wherever these two lines meet, that is your answer. Now the question comes, sir, I don't have graph paper. So without graph paper, how will I able to solve, sir? Then you can solve again the same problem. How will I be able to solve? By cancelling the x1 and x2. How will you do that, sir? So here if you see, x1 is 4, x1 is coefficient is 4, x2 here x1 is 2, here x2 is 1, here x2 is 3. So what you can do, either you can cancel x1 or you can cancel x2. So which is more easier to cancel, that your decision. You can decide either to cancel x1. If you want to cancel x1, then multiply the second equation, multiply equation 2 by 2. Okay, and then you can solve it. If you want to cancel x2, suppose if you want to cancel x2, then multiply the first equation by 3. Multiply the first equation by 3. And then you can subtract and you can solve it. So it's all your discretion. Whatever you like, you can do that. So that is a one method to do it. So if I want to cancel x1, then I multiply the equation 2 by 2. So I'll write 4x1 plus x2 is equal to 40. That is your first equation. Second equation, if I multiply it by 2, so if I multiply it by 2, so you will get 4x1 plus 6x2 is equal to 180. 92 is 180. This is your second equation. Okay, now if you want to cancel x2 and you multiply the equation 1 by 3, so you will get 12x1 plus 3x2 is equal to 120. Second equation, no change. Now guys, if you observe, here you can see that your x1 is same coefficient. So now if I subtract equation 1 from equation 2 or equation 2 from equation 1, I can cancel x1. Same goes here. So now what you can do very easily, you can solve them. Subtract this equation, it get cancelled. I hope you know subtraction, otherwise I'll do it here. 4x1 plus x2 minus 4x1 minus 6x2 is equal to 40 minus 180. So this become x1 cancel. This is minus 5x2 is equal to minus 140. So x2 is equal to 28. Once you get the value of x2, you can find the value of x1. How will I find, sir? If I get the x2 value, to put this value in any equation, x2 is equal to 28, put this in any equation, doesn't matter which equation you take, put any equation. So 4x1, x2 is 28, right? Put in any equation, doesn't matter. So 4x1 is equal to 40 minus 28 means 12. So x1 is equal to 3. So your answer for this would be 3, 28. So at the point 3, 28, these two lines will meet. If you solve it, this get cancelled. This is 10x1 is equal to 30. So x1 is equal to 3. Once you get x1 equal to 3, put in any equation. 2x1 plus 3x2 is equal to 90. So 2 into 3 plus 3x2 is equal to 90. So 6 plus 3x2 is equal to 90. So 3x2 is equal to 84. So x2 is equal to 28. So it doesn't matter how you solve, which variable you take, your answer will remain the same value. So this is a one way of solving. Another way to solve this equation, if you want to solve, so 4x1 plus x2 is equal to 40, and then 2x1 plus 3x2 is equal to 90. Now another way you need to solve this equation, what you can do, so here can I write x2 is equal to 40 minus 4x1. Yes, sir. Can I write this? X2 is equal to 40 minus 4x1. Yes, sir. So what you do, whatever value you get, no x2 value, put this x2 value in this equation. So this is 2x1 plus 3. In place of x2, write 40 minus 4x1 is equal to 90. So you'll get 2x1 plus 120 minus 12x1 is equal to 90. So you'll get 30 is equal to 10x1. So x1 is equal to 3. If you get x1 is equal to 3, put this here and you find the value of x2. 40 minus 4 into 3. X2 is equal to 40 minus 12. So x2 is equal to 28. So you do anyhow, you'll get the same answer. Clear? You can watch the recording of this class. I'll send you the recording, or if you subscribe to my channel, within 5-10 minutes, you will get the recording in the YouTube. You can watch it as many times as you can. If you want my contact number, I'll give you my contact number. You can ask me any doubt whenever you have. Okay, now coming back to the next question. Shane has asked me, he want to know how to formulate the coordinate 0, 40, 10, 40. Okay, so Shane, if you see 0, 40, so 0, like now this is this. So here what I'm doing, guys, here I took this as a x1, horizontal axis as x1 and vertical axis as x2. So this is 0, 0. Okay, this is 10, this is 20, this is 30, this is 40, this is 50, this is minus 10, minus 20, minus 30, plus 10, plus 20, plus 30, plus 40, minus 10, minus 20, minus 30, like this. So suppose if you get the coordinate like 0, 40 or 10, 0, anything, you get any coordinate like minus 10, 15, anything. So 0, 40 means, so guys, please understand, when I'm writing 0, 40, it means the first variable, the what you are writing, that is your x1 coordinate. The next what you will write, that is your x2 coordinate. That is the way how we learn coordinate geometry. The first variable what you write, that one is your x1 coordinate. Next variable what you write is your x2 coordinate. So your the first is 0, 40. So the first coordinate is 0, 40. 0, 40 means what? 0, 40 means what? 0. It means x1 is 0, x2 is 40. x1 is 0, x2 is 40. So means which is that point? x1 is 0 and x2 is 40, means that is this point. Okay, then 10, 0. 10, 0 means x1 is 10 and y2 is 0. So whenever the other variable is 0, no, so you lie in either in horizontal axis or vertical axis. If I say minus 10, 15, means x1 is minus 10, y2 is 15. So where that point will come, somewhere here. I hope you understand me. So this would be your point, minus 10, 15. Are you getting it? If I say minus 10, minus 30, means x1 is minus 10, y2 is minus 30. What is that point? This is this point, minus 10, minus 30. Done. Anyone, any doubt? Please ask me your doubts.
Sir, good evening. So yeah, this is pretty clear. But I would like to know, how did we get that 0, 40? I do
Okay.
know how to
Okay.
mark it in the graph.
Okay, got
I
it.
would like to know how did we get?
Okay.
Yes.
So x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 40. Okay, suppose this is the equation, x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 40. Now, what I'm saying, no, whenever you have a linear equation, this is a linear equation. And if this linear equation have two variable, okay, or it have three variable or four variable, doesn't matter. See, if you have one variable, you need one equation. You get the answer. Your work is done. Okay, if you have one variable, 2x1 is equal to 10. So x1 is equal to 5. You will get the answer, your work is done. Problems start happening if you have more than one variable, but you have only one equation. So for this, you will have infinite solution. You can put any values, you get any simultaneous value. So here, what I'm saying, you assume any value of x. Assume any value of x. Assume any value of x1. You put anything. I assumed it x1 equal to 0. So if I put x1 equal to 0, then x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 40. And if x1 is 0, then 2x2 is equal to 40. So 2x2 is equal to 40. So means x2 will be equal to 20. So it means your x1 is 0, x2 will be 20. So why you took x1 0? You can took x1 anything. So you can took x1 anything. Why I took 0? To make the scenario simple.
All right.
So there are many videos I have put for this topics, operation research. If you want, you can go through them, solve them, ask as much questions as you can. You are most welcome to do that. So any question, anyone, any doubt, please ask me. Anyone, any question? If no one have any doubt, then I like to wind up the class. So thank you, everyone. So it was really pleasure teaching you all. I hope you people learned whatever I have taught in today's class. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you all very soon in the next class. Till then, take care of yourself and please study as much as you can.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, guys, I'm ending the class. So, yeah, so this is my number. I'll give my number in case if you need any help, please contact me.